Credit where it's due. Shout out to Bryce Young. Shout out to Bryce Young. We're going to update the Bryceometer for the first time in a long time. Something we used to do on the show. Every week during his rookie year, we would update the Bryceometer, which was basically our confidence level in Bryce. We're updating it today because it's as high as it's been in a very long time. Bryce Young, my confidence in him is as high as it's been in a very long time. If you're on our YouTube live stream, you see it. If not, you'll see it on our YouTube post later on. I'll explain it to you. Our confidence level, if we count the entire scale as 100%, we're at like 75, 80%. 75. I don't want to go up to 80. 75%. We call it Bryce of America Stadium. One slice below, we're going to be forever young. This is a big step, and it all comes down to one thing. Ironically, it is the intro to our Cons and Cons segment we do often. You're going to need one thing: confidence. The player is confident. I'm going to have to give a bit of a I'm sorry to Dave Canales later on in the show, because I don't believe he handled it the right way. I would not have handled the quarterback situation the way he has this year, but there is no arguing that Bryce Young, despite the benching, despite the dangling the starting job in front of him for so long, is a much more confident player now than he was at the beginning of the year. It is obvious. Coaching staff needs credit for that. Whether I agree with the mechanisms or the processes or not, the end result is what they were going for. Congratulations. Dave Canales spoke to the media after the game about Bryce Young proving himself. This is what he had to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to make any statements. He's making it for himself. You know, he's continuing to show us the progress we're looking for, bringing our skill players to life, you know. Xavier played the X position today, so just kudos to Xavier as well, just taking on a new role and finding some success there. You know, a couple plays he'd love to have back, I'm sure. He'll be the first to tell you. But, you know, talking about Bryce, you know, it's the coaching staff, it's his teammates. You know, he's showing us, you know, what he can do when he's out there.
So we can expect him to start next Sunday.
Absolutely.
Love that from Dave Canales. I made my little concession. Feels like that's him reaching across the aisle to me and saying, I will name him the starter right after the game. We are mind melding after a near loss to the Chiefs. This is how far Bryce Young has come. This is why I boosted the Bryceometer. This is why I'm as confident as I've been in him in a very long time. Do you remember, and I know you do, but I'm just setting it up. Do you remember how shell-shocked he looked early in games at the start of the year? I mean, the first pass of his season was intercepted, and he missed high over the middle, which tells me he's not confident, not stepping into it, maybe let go of it early. We could quarterback nerd about it, but let's just say he looked shell-shocked early in games. It didn't even feel like he had to play bad in order to look rattled, right? It just was he started rattled, which was the issue. Now look at the situation he was put in yesterday. Look at the situation he was put in yesterday. Coach still hadn't named him the starter forever, just said he was a starter for this game. He goes in, takes the field against the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs, seemingly before the game started, get a nice kick return and a wide open, easy as pie, 35-yard touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes.
Three plays.
Three plays. And the last one, I mean, it's like you're guarding Steph Curry, and he gets to like catch the ball at the three-point line. No one's around him. Rotate the basketball, get the fat part of the seams on the basketball, and he drills it. And you're just like, great. We don't need to get him going, but now we did. You gave Patrick Mahomes a layup of a 35-yard touchdown pass. Offense goes out there. There's actually reason to be rattled. There's reason to be like, oh gosh, we're gonna have to score 50. Guess what he did? I have the actual, because I went back and looked at it. We went back and watched the drive again, and then went back and just looked at the play-by-play, because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any like little hints of indecisiveness from him. Boom. First play, complete to Adam Thielen, 8 yards. Run for no gain. Running game didn't get going super hot early. Third down, third and short, 15-yard completion. Love it. Third down, get the first, get the drive moving. Then, maybe the best ball he threw all day. Deep ball over the shoulder to Xavier Legette. Let's just call it a dime and say, that's how you answer. Gets him down into the red zone. Run for 4 yards. That's a successful first down play. Short completion for 2 yards, little gadget play, didn't love the call, but you're going to do what you're going to do. Penalty on 3rd and 4, makes it 3rd and 9, incomplete, field goal made. Without that penalty, which, let's be real, you're going up against one of the best defenses in the NFL, and you have a quarterback that is developing every week, you'd like to not have a false start, kick you from 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9. Without that penalty, I believe Bryce Young matches Kansas City right out of the gate. I believe it's a touchdown for a touchdown. Now compare that to the shaken from the get-go quarterback we watched in the first 2 games. Compare that. Bryce Young threw for 106 yards in the first quarter. That is his career high in an opening quarter.
There's games where he doesn't even have 106.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking more like that's true. That's true.
This season.
I'm with you. I'm not negating you at all. I'm just saying I was looking at it. I'm so hyped and so Carolina blue colored glasses that I'm seeing that and just going, that means he's pushing it downfield. That means he came out the gate, didn't need to warm up, didn't need 4 short completions before they could test him down low or deep down the field. And you're just like, yeah, remember how bad he was? And I'm like, yeah, that's true too. But that's another comparison. Bryce Young after the game talked about building from the loss against Kansas City.
Again, just watching the film, seeing what we did well, how we can continue to be consistent with that, continue to execute, and then, there's still a lot of things that we can clean up. So, throughout the week, we got to be diligent in learning, locking on the plan, for next week, and, just continue to keep trusting and playing for each other.
Now, I am a firm believer in no moral victories. Like, if you're keeping score, there's only one way to get a victory, and that's to win. Game like that's going to test that theory. Game like that's making me go, no, I said no moral victories. I said absolutely none. I didn't say except for very specific situations. Like, I painted myself complete. There's no outs here. I'm in the corner. I was as close to a moral victory as you can get. Bryce Young finished 21 of 35, 263 yards and a touchdown with no turnovers. That's good. That's very good.
I think it was his best game he's played in a Panther uniform. I know he had more yards last year in the game against the Green Bay Packers. I fully understand it. I felt like this was his most complete game.
I think this is the first time I can say, soundly, the performance was way better than the numbers. He's had games where it's like, that's pretty good. I liked that, but this one, it's good, and it could have been better. There were a decent amount of straight-up drops, and there were a decent amount of, come on, man, make a play for your quarterback. Like
Tommy Trumbull,
not seen as maybe a straight-up drop, like the Xavier Legette over the shoulder. That, to me, is just I knew I shouldn't eat popcorn. Like, that's just a straight-up drop. Then there were a few where it's like, if I don't even think that's 50-50 ball. I think that's like a 70-30 ball. Like, you come down with it, help out your quarterback. It might not technically be a drop, but you could have helped him out. And that turns 21 out of 35 for 263, 1 touchdown, into maybe 25 of 35, over 300, multiple touchdown passes. And then, you're getting picked up in fantasy next week.
Totally different game.
Then it's not only a different game, might have been the difference between the win and the loss, but a completely different, hey, I didn't watch the game, but I checked the stat sheet report on Bryce Young, which around the league is what a lot of people are doing for Panther games.
Yeah.